Alors, bonjour à tous. Bonjour, j'espère que vous allez très bien. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing good. All right, so today we're going to have few explanation about these two French tenses. So, passé composé and plus que parfait. All right, I guess everybody can see the board, okay, clearly. All right, so I hope here it's gonna be fine. Très bien. Alors, le passé composé. Très bien. Passé composé est plus que parfait. Salut à tous, j'espère que vous allez très bien. Alors, aujourd'hui, nous allons faire un cours très simple et très facile à comprendre. C'est sur les temps. Le passé composé est le plus que parfait. Alors, quelle est la différence entre le passé composé et le plus que parfait? So, how we can use or differentiate, okay, passé composé and plus que parfait? Or how we can use le passé composé and plus que parfait? Or what's the difference between passé composé et plus que parfait? Très bien. All right, so both are French tenses to express the past tense. So we have passé composé, which expresses the past tense in French, and le plus que parfait, which expresses also the past tense in French. But here the difference is le passé composé, which means the past which is composed. So the past which is composed, we call that passé composé. So in English, we call present perfect. So if you know how to use the present perfect, definitely in French, we call passé composé. So, plus que parfait is the past perfect. So in French, we say plus que parfait. So is that clear? The difference is passé composé is the present perfect. And the plus que parfait is the past perfect. All right, I hope you get it now so far. So now how to compose or how we do the formation of passé composé. So if you remember in English, present perfect, all right, so we have the present tense of verb to have, all right? So verb to have in French is avoir, and verb to be, être. So the present tense of these two auxiliaries, avoir and être. So avoir et être. The present tense plus the past participle. So in French is avoir ou être plus le participe passé. So the participe passé here is the past participle. So if you remember, in English, the past participle is, for example, the verb to be. We say was and been. So being is the past participle. To do, did and done. So done is the past participle. To go, all right? To go, yes? Okay, tell me to go, went and gone. So went is the simple past and gone is the past participle. To take, took and taken. So taken is the past participle. So in that case, if I want to use the present perfect, I will say, I have taken. I have gone. I have done. I have eaten. So this is the present perfect. So in French, I have, we're going to say j'ai. So it's also important to know and master the verb to have, avoir, and être in the present tense. Plus the past participle. But what is good here in French, we have the rule to know, all right, the past participle. But unlike in English, we have to learn each verb differently with the past participle. So, for example, to do, did, done. There is no rule. To take, took, taken. So there is no structure. There is no rule. There is no regularity. But in French, with the regular verbs, we have, okay, the form, rule to get the PP. The PP is called the past participle or le participe passé. So we cannot form the present perfect or the past perfect without the past participle. So to get the past participle in French, we have to follow a rule, and which is pretty easy and simple, and for all the regular verbs, that's work. All right, so now first let's master the verb to have and to be in French in the present form, in the present tense. So in English, I have, you have, he has, she has, we have, you have, they have. In French, j'ai, for I have. Tu as, for you have. Il a, for he has. Elle a, for she has. Nous avons, for we have. Vous avez, for you people have. Elles ont. Elles ont, which means they have. Très bien. Now let's go with the present tense of the verb être. Être, which means to be. So first we need to master the auxiliary verbs, avoir and être. So for être, we have je suis. Je suis, which means I am. Tu es. You are. Il est. He is. Elle est. She is. Nous sommes. We are. Vous êtes. You people are. Ils sont. Elles sont. They are. All right, so far here when we master the present tense of verb to have and to be, être et avoir, then we can now find out what is the past participle, how to get the past participle of the verbs. So here it's very simple. ER verbs in French, all ER verbs, we remove the ER at the end and replace with A. All right, E with the accent on top. That's it. For example, parler. So parler is the verb, main verb. So to get the past participle here, we have to remove the ER and get parler. So if I want to use the passé composé for parler, I will say j'ai parlé. Is that all right? C'est bon? J'ai parlé. So parler, which was ending with ER, became j'ai parlé. C'est bon? So any ER verbs, which is regular verbs, definitely, we have to change or remove the ER and add A. Manger, parler, appeler, cuisiner, travailler, chanter, dessiner, étudier, all goes under the same rule. ER, we remove the ER and get this one. Together, past participle, or we call it in French participe passé. Très bien. Now let's go with the second category of verbs. So all the verbs ending with IR in French, which are regular, definitely, we remove the IR and it will we have to put I. I. For example, finir, ending with IR. So in this case, to get the past participle, we remove the IR and get fini. So I can say, j'ai fini. Tu as fini. Il a fini. Elle a fini. Nous avons fini. Vous avez fini. Ils, elles ont fini. Est-ce que c'est bon? D'accord. Alors, on continue. Très bien. Now, let's go with the third category of verbs with the PP. So, in case the verb you get or you want to use with the passé composé and the verbs is composed or there is prendre in the composition, so those verbs we have apprendre, comprendre et prendre, reprendre. In case there is prendre in the composition, we have to remove the E and D R E. I will repeat again. So in case your verb has prendre in the composition, so those verbs we have prendre, apprendre, comprendre, reprendre. All right. In case there is prendre in the composition, how to get the past participle? We have just to remove the E and D R E. Alors, si vous aviez un verbe qui a un prendre dans la composition ou dans la formation telle que prendre, apprendre, comprendre, reprendre, alors il va falloir supprimer E, N, D, R, E. Alors, on va changer E, N, D, R, E en IS. So, when you remove your E and D, R, E, we're going to change or replace by IS. Together, past participle. So, this category of verbs, this is what we replace together, past participle. For example, alors, apprendre. So here in the composition, we have prendre. So we have to remove the E and D R E. All right, so we remove the E and D R E and we get appris. Same for prendre or comprendre. We remove the E and D R E and we change with IS. So apprendre will become appris. Prendre will become pris. Comprendre will become compris. Alors, for example, we say, j'ai appris. Tu as appris. Il a appris. Elle a appris. Nous avons appris. Vous avez appris. Ils, elles ont appris. Est-ce que c'est bon? Merci. Alors, on va continuer. Now, let's go with another category of verbs. So, in case the verb you want to use end with RE. All right, so in that case, we have just to remove only RE and change, replaced by only U. Alors, si votre verbe se termine par RE, bien sûr, si le verbe est régulier, pas les verbes irréguliers. Alors, je parle ici des verbes réguliers. So here, all these past participles follow the same rule, same pattern, because they are regular verbs. All right. So in case the verb is regular and with RE, we remove the RE and change into U. If it's not composed with prendre. So here we have prendre in the composition, so that's why we remove the E and the RE. So in case in the verb there is no prendre, in the composition definitely we remove only RE and get replaced by U. Example, vendre. So vendre, here there is no prendre in the composition. like apprendre, comprendre, prendre, reprendre. But here it's only vendre. So there is no prendre in the composition. So what we do, we remove only I and replace with you. So it's become vendu. So we say j'ai vendu. So this is the present perfect. We call that passé composé. Tu as vendu. Il a vendu. Elle a vendu. Nous avons vendu. Vous avez vendu. Ils, elles ont vendu. C'est bon? Merci. Alors, on continue. So, here we use all these verbs with only j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a. And the question is, why we don't say je suis parlé, je suis finir, je suis appris, je suis vendu? All right. So, these verbs we use only with the verbs parler, finir, appris, and vendu. For je suis, we have specific verbs we use with je suis. We'll learn that later on. All right, so this is the passé composé. Now let's figure out how to form le plus que parfait, or what is plus que parfait. So for example here, plus que parfait, the composition almost same with verb avoir and être. But here we have j'ai, but with the plus que parfait, so plus que parfait, if you remember, in the introduction, I said plus que parfait is the past perfect. So if you are present perfect, no past perfect. So present perfect, it was I have. So the past perfect will be I had. So now j'ai will change into j'avais. Because this is the past of j'ai. All right? So I have, the past is I had. In French, j'ai, the past is j'avais. So the plus que parfait, we use j'avais instead of j'ai. And we have to use the same past participle. So the change and the difference here is the past tense of j'ai will become j'avais, tu as will become tu avais, il a will become il avait, elle a will become elle avait, nous avons will become nous avions. There is I here. That's the difference. Vous avez, it will become vous aviez. There is I here. I. C'est bon? Ils, elles ont. Here in the past, it will be ils avaient, elles avaient. So this is the difference. We use the past tense of j'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. Et j'avais, tu avais, il ou elle avait, nous avions, vous aviez, il ou elle avaient. So that is the difference. So when it's time for être, we say je suis. In the past composé, we use je suis. But in the plus que parfait, we use the past tense of je suis. So je suis, past tense will be j'étais. Tu es, the past tense will be tu étais. Il est, it will be il était. Elle est, elle était. Nous sommes will be nous étions. Vous êtes, vous étiez. Ils, elles sont, in the present form, in the past will be elles étaient, ils étaient, elles étaient. So the difference between passé composé and plus que parfait is the past tense of avoir and the past tense of être. Same formation. The same formation. Être or avoir plus past participle. Same. So we use the same past participle pattern. IA verbs, we remove IA, got A. IR, we remove IR, we got I. For prendre, verbs composed with prendre, we remove again E-N-D-R-E and add I-S. Same pattern with here, same. All right. The difference is the tense for present here, but this side we use the past. That's the difference. So here we say for RE, we remove the RE as long as there is no round in the composition. So we remove the RE and change into U. That's the difference. All right. So here, example, parler, we got the same thing. So we say in the plus que parfait with ER verbs, one example, parler, we say j'avais parlé. Tu avais parlé. Elle, il, elle avait parlé. Nous avions parlé. Vous aviez parlé. Ils ou elles avaient parlé. Same. The difference is j'avais and j'ai. Tu as and tu avais. That's different. But the same past participle. So if I say I have eaten, that's the present perfect. But the past perfect, I would say I had eaten. So what changed here? The tense of have. We change it to had. So j'ai changed into j'avais. Tu as changed into tu avais. Il, elle a changed into il, elle avait. So that's the past tense of avoir that we use in the plus-que-parfait, which is called past participle. So example, we say also j'avais fini, j'avais appris, j'avais vendu. Tu avais parlé, tu avais fini, tu avais appris, tu avais vendu. Next, j'avais appris, j'avais, tu avais. All right, so here why we did not use with je suis, with these verbs. All right, so we use je suis only when we have these verbs, all right, to use in the passé composé or plus que parfait. So the passé composé and plus que parfait, if you use je suis, you have to use with aller only with these 14 verbs. We call these verbs movement verbs or action verbs. So mostly we use je suis with these verbs, almost 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 verbs here that we can use with je suis or j'étais. So je suis, verb to be, all right, verb to be is used with these 14 verbs. In 14 verbs. All right, so these 14 verbs. So here, aller. And with er to get the past participle, it will become aller. So we say, je suis allé à Paris. Plus que parfait, j'étais allé à Paris. C'est bon? So for this one, we do not use j'ai allé. No, that's wrong. These 14 verbs are only used with 8 verbs. All right, so if you have je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont, only we use with these verbs. So être cannot be used with another verb out of these 14 ones. So 14 verbs only for use of être. I will tell you once again those 14 verbs. Aller, arriver, descendre, entrer, venir, monter, mourir, naître, partir, passer, rester, retourner, sortir et tomber. So these are the 14 verbs we have to use with je suis or j'étais, not with j'ai or j'avais. So it can never work with j'ai and j'avais. So we do not use this verb with avoir. we do not use these 14 verbs here with avoir. We use with only être. Je suis, tu es, il est. So we say je suis allé, je suis arrivé, je suis descendu, je suis entré, je suis venu, je suis monté, je suis mort, je suis né, je suis parti, je suis passé, je suis resté, je suis retourné, je suis sorti et je suis tombé. Bravo. Alors, how to get the past participle of this verb? These verbs are more likely not regular, so there is no specific rule for some of them. For example, ER, they keep respecting the rule. All right, so let's try together past participle of this verb. So, arriver with A. Descendre, we remove the R-I, and we say descendu. Entrer, all right, same. Alors, we remove the ER and we'll have only accent. Entrer. Now, next, venir. We'll remove IR and it will become venu. C'est bon? So, venir will become venu because these verbs are irregular. So, they keep changing themselves. All right? Monter and with ER, so it will be also same. So mostly the ER verbs remain unchangeable. Same. Mourir, okay, mourir completely will change to more only. O-M, okay, R-T, more. Naître will completely change as well. All right, so naître will become né. Né, E, accent on top. Parti. So partir will become parti. Passer, ending with ER, so it's very easy. Rester, ending with ER as well. All right, with accent, retourner, so mostly ER verb that don't change. Sortir, sorti, tomber, all right, with I. So here we have all the past participle of these 14 verbs exclusively used for verb être. In the passé composé and plus que parfait. So we do not use this verb with verb avoir. So we can never say, okay, j'ai allé, j'ai arrivé. Please. J'avais allé, j'avais arrivé. No, it's wrong. All right. So we use these 14 verbs with only je suis, être verb, j'étais, être verb with these 14 verbs. The remaining out of these verbs, definitely we use with j'ai, and j'ai. So what you need to do here is to make sure you master these 14 verbs. To make sure other verbs out of the list you use with verb avoir. So you need to master the list of 14 verbs used only with verb être, to use in the passé composé or plus que parfait. So if you know your 14 verbs and you know the list completely, so if you see a verb and that verb is not in your list of 14 verbs, definitely you use j'ai. So that's how you can easily master. Do we have to say j'ai or do we have to say je suis? So je suis is only used with these 14 verbs. Aller, arriver, descendre, entrer, venir, monter, mourir, naître, partir, passer, rester, retourner, sortir, et tomber. So here these are the past participle. Aller with the I, arriver with the I, descendre will become descendu, entrer will become entré with the accent, venir will become venu, monter with ER will become monter with the accent, mourir will become mort. It's irregular, it's completely changed. Naître will become né, partir will become parti. Passer will become passe with the accent on top. Rester with the accent on top. Retourner with e, accent on top. Sortir, sorti with only I, tomber, which is only a. All right, so these are few verbs you can master to make sure you know how to use je suis. So we do not use je suis, je suis parlé, je suis appris, je suis vendu. No, it's completely wrong. You use je suis with this verb. Je suis allé, je suis arrivé, je suis descendu, je suis entré, je suis venu, je suis monté, je suis mort, je suis né, je suis parti, je suis passé, je suis resté, je suis retourné, je suis sorti, je suis tombé. Or, j'étais allé, j'étais arrivé, j'étais descendu, j'étais entré, j'étais venu, j'étais mort, j'étais monté, j'étais né, j'étais partir, j'étais passé, j'étais resté, j'étais retourné, j'étais sorti, j'étais tombé. All right? So we don't say j'ai allé or j'avais allé, j'avais vendu. Completely wrong. So these 14 verbs you need to master and avoid to make that mistake. All right, so I'm going to give you also some extra verbs that also you might try to work on. So for example, so these are the 14 verbs. We have also some irregular verbs that will keep changing, but they do not follow these pattern of regular verbs. So for example, the OIR verbs, where can I write it? So I believe everybody understood, all right, with tu, j'ai, and all those things, all right? So I'm going to erase here. I'm going to erase here. So I unfortunately erased those verbs. So pouvoir. Pouvoir. Verb pouvoir. All right. Boire. They are also irregular verbs, but how to master their uses. Okay? Boire. Voir. Devoir. And vouloir. So they are ending with OIR, most of them. So how to get their past participle? How to get the passé, participe passé of these verbs? Pouvoir, voir, voir, devoir, et vouloir. So these verbs, we remove completely O-U-V-O-I-R. So we remove all these. So it will remain P, B, V, and D. So if we remove, it will become, pouvoir will become pu. Boire will become bu. Voir will become vu. Devoir will become dû. Vouloir will become voulu. So this is how you can remember and master this verb. Pouvoir, voir, voir, devoir, and vouloir. So for this verb, we get pu, bu, vu, dû, and voulu. All right? So these verbs are not in our 14 list of verbs to be used with je suis. So definitely we say j'ai pu. It's with avoir. So we say j'ai pu, j'ai bu, j'ai vu, j'ai dû, j'ai voulu. So all the verbs you can use with j'ai or j'avais. If it doesn't belong to the 14 verbs of the list to be used with être, you use automatically with j'ai, avoir. Alors, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. J'espère que vous avez compris la leçon et que ça deviendra de plus en plus facile et que vous allez faire la maîtrise et vous allez l'utiliser couramment, correctement, constamment. Merci à tous d'avoir suivi le direct et j'espère que vous allez partager le direct afin que d'autres puissent en bénéficier. Alors, thank you everyone for this live. I hope you got the lesson. I hope you will know how to use le passé composé and le plus que parfait. If you have any question, please write your comment in the section, comment section below so I can reply and explain more in detail for your doubt. Okay, so that's it for today. Keep watching, share the live, like and leave your comment as well to support the channel and remain tuned for new live next video. Let's be together, let's learn together with Easy Friend with Marcel. Merci, au revoir et à la prochaine. Au revoir.